Today, I am beyond thrilled to introduce a very special guest on the festival network. DJ HAZEÄ, also known as Haley, is not just a phenomenal DJ, but one of the most beautiful souls I've had the pleasure of knowing for nearly a decade. Her passion for life is infectious, and her bubbly, sweet personality lights up every room she enters. HAZEÄ has a magical, calming aura that can soothe anyone, yet she knows how to let loose and go wild in the crowd when the moment calls for it. It's this unique blend of serenity and energy that make her truly special. HAZEÄ has always loved music, but discovered her passion for EDM at her first rave in 2014. This experience led her to explore festivals, immersing herself into the culture and loving it more and more. Originally from New Mexico, HAZEÄ now calls Dallas home, while still combining her love for travel with her musical journey. HAZEÄ graduated DJ school in 2023 and has already made a name for herself not only in Dallas, but internationally as well. Like a true bass siren, HAZEÄ pulls inspiration from the depths of the ocean. Her music is a therapeutic embrace for her and her audience. A true goddess of the decks, HAZEÄ is drawn to bass house, and tech house genres, infusing her performances with raw energy and depth. She is devoted to creating an inclusive and inspiring environment for women in the EDM industry, using her art to empower and uplift. In essence, HAZEÄ is a force of nature, an embodiment of feminine power and positive vibes. Join us as we dive into her story, her inspirations, and her vision for the future.
What an intro. Thank you guys for having me, and hello to all of the fans. I'm really excited for this podcast and to be a part of such a beautiful network.
Thank you so much. So HAZEÄ, your DJ career has taken off from bedroom beats performing to your friends at after parties and house parties to opening for headliners here in Dallas. What inspired you to start your DJ journey almost a year ago?
I've always loved music, and it's a huge part of me, and I wanted to find a way to become more involved in the community and creating my sound and my voice, hence the mermaid and siren vibe. And I just love the impact that music brings people together, and it's history, and I'm here to be a female in that and show that feminine energy, and yeah, hopefully make an impact, and this is my legacy, so yes. Join us.
Yeah, we are really going after our dreams here, and you know, we're so young, the world is our oyster. And can you tell me a little bit about what inspired HAZEÄ as your DJ persona and the mermaid siren vibes that go along with it?
It was just something that's always been inside of me. Like, HAZEÄ is a part of me, and you know, obviously we're into astrology. Yes. And I'm a Pisces, and it's a water sign, and I've always loved being by the ocean, you know, with vacations and things, and I felt like what I loved about the mermaid is that there's also a siren, so there's like two sides of her. And I came out with like bass music, and so that was more of like the bass siren vibe. And then yeah. I've also played the pretty girl house vibes, and I thought that fits more like a mermaid vibe. For sure. So it's just kind of like, you know, two versions, but we're one. And I hope that I can reach to all the women and all the men.
So you can shine both of your sides of your personality wherever you go, and you can just bring that energy and that light and that fun element to your shows.
Also, to get like really into it, is that it's even deeper than that, like the ocean, you know, like with your emotions. And I feel like there's a dark side of the mermaid story, and then there's a bright side of the mermaid story. And yeah, so it's just like me in real life, but just in another universe. Yeah. And I'm here to bring that like fantasy vibe and keeping it magical and interesting whenever I'm on stage, for sure.
I love that so much. I've yet to see you perform here in Dallas, but I remember the first time I saw you DJ several years ago, back in 2020, and I knew from that day, I was like, I saw you behind those decks, and you just had this spicy, fun vibe, and you looked so effortless, even though we were babies back then. You just fucking killed it, and I was like, she's gonna be a DJ one day, and she's gonna take over and just bring that energy to even more people around the world. So I love that you're actually pursuing that. And I also would love to know more about your first festival experience and what impact that had on you going into music and DJing as your career.
So my first festival ever was in 2015, Backwoods, Oklahoma. And I just remember, you know, walking in the gates and was like, what is this? You know, and it was like grass everywhere and people, and they're wearing all these amazing outfits.
So colorful.
And very colorful, very loud. There was like so many stages, and I just wanted to be a part of that. And it made me feel like I'm in my own community.
Mm-hmm.
Like I came from a huge military family, and you know, it's very strict. And so the fact that I could run around and just be myself and find my identity, so I loved that. But one that really stuck out to me was concerts. I went to a lot more concerts at the beginning than I did festivals. Mm-hmm. And that would be in 2014 Excision. And that was my first concert ever.
Wow.
Yeah, so I actually went to Excision first, and then I went to Backwoods.
What an intro.
Yeah. And front row, and heard all the bass music. Yeah, headbangers. And I remember wearing like red fluffy boots. Like I had no idea, and I was just with girls, and like you're wearing makeup, and it was really just breaking like, it was, how I say it is like Hannah Montana to Miley Cyrus. I was like, you know, this good little girl, you know, in high school, never did anything, and then now we're here where I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and we're gonna have fun. And it was music and people, and yeah, so it was just such a journey where I looked up and I was like, I want to be on that stage, but it was going to be in the future for like whenever it was actually going to happen, because I was literally a baby and I just needed that time to
How old
grow.
were you?
Oh my goodness. I don't know, probably like 17, 18.
Oh, you were 17.
Yeah.
Wow,
it was like
I was
baby.
21 for my first rave, and it was 12th Planet at the farmer's market.
Yeah.
So headbangers for sure.
Yeah. And I think that's why like I keep going back to bass music, is because like that's where it all started. That was home. It's almost like, I don't know, like how women ancestors dance. Like it's just like getting that grimy.
It's like tribal and freeing, and you can really get down low with the bass and let it just like take you on this spiritual journey, instead of like I love house music, but it did take me a long time to get into house music. And it wasn't until I started dating my now husband that I honestly learned to love house music. Like, and now the older I am, like now I'm a techno girly. So
I love all genres, and I think that once I started out in bass music and then I started playing in Dallas, I found all the music and all the sounds, and I love house music, techno. It was just kind of like my college. Like it was just like I want to know everything about it, and I really haven't found a genre I didn't like to spin. So.
Yeah, love that. Well, you're making waves in Dallas. What has been your favorite moment so far as you've been DJing here in this community?
Well, there's quite a few. I have like 3 that I can think of, but if I were to actually like pinpoint one, probably like the highlight of my career was actually whenever they did a pop-up for Mellow Death. And so if you don't know what Mellow Death is, it's Marshmello and Sudden Death, and they made a group, and they did an EP with probably like 5 songs, and I'm obsessed with like all of them, and I play them in my sets all the time if I'm doing bass sets. And so basically I had played a gig before, the night before. It was Greenlight Social, and that's like a pretty big deal for like a new DJ artist. And there's just kind of like talk, you know, happening, and I was like, wait, what's going on? And then I had someone walk up to me.
Put me in, coach.
I had someone come up to me, and his name was actually Carlisle. So he runs all of the things at Boiler Roof and Rodeo.
Okay.
And they were hosting for Melodeath. And I actually had a gig the night before and the night after. And I was like, I thought I got the dates mixed up. I was like, sorry, can't do that. And then I ended up was like, wait, I need to look at this flyer one more time. And then it ended up being the next day on a Friday, and I was like, well, I'm staying home from work because I'm definitely gonna go do this show. And I also was just really inspired because it was women that were opening too. And so we were getting in this group text, and it was pretty wild, like how the whole night happened, or whole day happened. I didn't get home from Greenlight until like 3 a.m. I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make this set for Marshmallow Death. And I was like trying to put it together, but I needed sleep, but I had to be up early. And so I just was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to sleep, because I knew in my heart, I was like, I have bass music, I have dubstep, like that's gonna be easy, you know? So then I woke up the next day, and I realized I was like, I gotta go. Like I was trying to find an outfit, all the things. And so then I pulled up by myself in Deep Ellum. I had my board in my car and my laptop, and I had it like, the board was like on my knees and my steering wheel was here. I was like trying to create a set super duper quick. And then there were the Wi-Fi wasn't working, and so I took my laptop and my headphones, went to the sushi restaurant, asked them, I was like, hey, do you have a bathroom, like with all my equipment? And then I was literally like on the toilet, and like, I mean, my clothes were on, and I was like trying to load these songs. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to have,
like in a Starbucks bathroom or something.
Literally. And literally the Wi-Fi was lagging. So I had to go in and realize, I was like, I gotta go. Like, so I couldn't even, I did all of that for nothing. And so I just grabbed my USB, grabbed my headphones, and I went solo. I was a lone wolf, and I'm like trying to text the girls, and they're like, we're on. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So I start walking, and I see this line, and I'm like, no way, like, no way. And then I start seeing the merch of Melodeath, and I'm like, oh my gosh, all these people are here right now, and we haven't even opened.
How many people would you say were there? Like 5,000?
Oh gosh,
more.
Probably like 500, like just inside the building. But yeah, there's a ton of people. Oh my gosh, tons. Like the most people I've ever seen, like with any show. They were ready. They knew that they were going to be here.
And this was only like maybe 6 months in to you DJing?
Yeah, if that, like 5 to 6 months. It was pretty quick. And so I walked in there, and I like went up there, and I know I'm telling like way too much of the story, but they were playing
give
rhythm.
Me all the deets. I want to know all the deets.
So they were playing rhythm, and I was like, I'm playing dubstep. And if you are a DJ artist or anyone that knows, rhythm is a lot harder. So it's like 150 BPM. I had on my USB like 140 BPM, and I'm like, oh my gosh, if they're starting with this, they're not gonna wanna go down, you know? So I was really nervous, to be honest with you, because I was like, this is a lot of people, and they're listening to hardcore. And I was like, I mean, I do hardcore, but this is like hardcore.
Yeah, rhythm's hard.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't have any more rhythm to like add to it. And so I was like standing up there. I met this random guy. His name is HAZEÄ, I believe. And he just was randomly there. He's from Illinois. He's like, I'm not even supposed to be here right now. And I was like, do you DJ? He's like, yeah. I was like, we should like go back to back, because I just needed somebody there with me, because the girls already played. So they were like off, you know, they went off and did their own thing. And so we like got up there, and he does one song, and then he's like, it's all you. And I was like, oh, he's like, do it for the girls. And I was like, okay, I'll do it for the girls. So luckily I love bass music, so I had the playlist and I did that. But I also went back to back with Dustin G. And none of this would be possible without Colton Carlisle. So he's actually like good friends with Set and Dust, so that's how that all happened. So I felt so grateful, so memorable, and yeah, definitely like the highlight of my career. And you know, Dustin G, he's been in the business for like 12 years, and I was just coming in at like 5 to 6 months, and I just felt so honored to be able to collaborate with such amazing artists, and to be able to be side by side and in the rooms. And I was just so grateful that the audience were having a blast, you know, and they see this blonde girl whipping her hair back and forth, and you know, so they were really
everyone loves a blonde baddie on stage. And I love that for you. I wish I was there to witness it, but when I saw your story, I was like, what? Are you kidding? Did you really just open for Melodeath?
Yeah.
Did you really just do that? But
It was
also,
insane.
you said that like you were worried about the dubstep kind of being a little too fast, but I feel like having variety as an opener is really good, because yes, people are there for a rhythm artist, but the openers are there to bring a different vibe and to kind of warm the crowd up. So dubstep is a little softer. You don't want the crowd to go so hard and get all their energy out before the headliners, you know what I mean? So I think that was perfect.
Yeah, I definitely threw in some Troy Boy, some Millennium, and they were just digging it and having a blast. The girls were like on the shoulders, and that's my biggest thing is, you know, as a female DJ artist, I'm like always looking out for the girls. I'm like always looking for them, like, okay, are they having fun? And do they like me?
Yeah.
And they do, and they're dancing and doing all the things and headbanging, and I'm like, okay, cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
EDM has a special place in my heart, and I know it does yours. So how does it impact your world both on and off stage whenever you're just living your day-to-day life? Does it just bring you so much happiness and make you a better person, or what would you say EDM means to you?
Well, definitely PLUR. That's the first thing that comes to mind as any festival goer, you know, peace, love, unity, and respect. And I think that's always stuck with me, on stage and off stage. Definitely, I use that when going on stage. You know, I always bring kindness to everyone. I always bring, you know, being a genuine person and being nice in the industry really takes you far. And I think people enjoy seeing, you know, someone that's beautiful and talented, but also like has those values and morals. And I think you know that whenever you just walk into a room, you're like, okay, you know. And then definitely off stage, like I'm constantly listening to EDM. You know, I do have like, I listen to all kinds of music, but like it is just like I eat, sleep, and like rave and breathe. Like it's EDM for life, for sure. And I'm just so honored to be able to have experienced that, you know, way back in the day, and then still have that now. And I feel like now the music is just like all intertwined with EDM, like country, rap,
hip hop.
And yeah, I love hip hop. And actually, I started out loving like hip hop, trap, dubstep, dance, and so I really incorporate that. But to answer your question, on and off stage, like I just try to keep those morals and values, and hopefully the audience feels that. And so every time they see me, it's like a feel good energy. And
yeah, that's amazing. Thank you for sharing.
Of course.
Bass Siren, what is your secret to energizing the crowd while you're DJing those bassy, deep beats?
I think whenever I create sets, I'm having so much fun. Like I'm literally at my desk recording it, having my headphones in. And if I'm not like headbanging or dancing with it, I'm like, okay, they're not gonna like this.
Yeah.
So I really love like every set that I play. Like I put a lot of time and energy behind the scenes, and so whenever I come there, it's like game on. You know, like this is my sport that I'm getting ready for, and I'm like I'm ready to get the crowd jumping, and I want to see everyone like. Please everyone. I would even see like sometimes I perform at like lounges or bars, and I'm like I want the staff to be having fun and smiling. I want the security guards too. So my secret sauce is really just, I don't know, I feel like I have like a unique sound. Like I'm always having some sort of bass, whether it's like bass house, you know, I like a little like deeper, like, you know, I just bring that energy. And also I'm dancing, like I'm smiling, I'm connecting with the audience. I love to like hand touch with the girls, you know, and they come up to me. Like, cause I'm a girl's girl. So I'm like, come on, like, let's dance. Cause, you know, we started on the dance floor. So I'm like, I've been there before. And I think it really just gets the crowd hyped when I'm hyped.
Yeah, for sure. It's whenever you go and watch a DJ perform live, if they're not dancing, even if the music is good, sometimes it feels weird. Like something feels off. You know, it's like, are you bored? Do you actually like your job, or are you just here to make money? So I think it's important that you love your job and that you have fun while you're up there, because it shows, and the crowd can, you know, reciprocate that energy as well. So
I say this to like everyone all the time. I've never been lucky in my life until I've done music, and I've been so lucky. and it's just so abundant, you know, because I mean, this is really my heart and soul that I put into this, you know, like I can't think of anything else that I want to do, you know, other than like, this is my most authentic self. And I'm like, so when people follow me or they're dancing, I'm like, okay, this is my tribe for sure.
Yeah. So EDM culture is known for its vibrant energy. How would you say you incorporate that into your sets?
I think that fashion, you know, I just love like getting ready and doing the makeup and just like, I don't know, I feel really beautiful when doing it. Like it really all starts when I'm like sitting in the sink doing my makeup and I'm listening to music and I'm just getting comfortable, and it's like my get ready with me, I guess.
Yeah.
And whenever I'm there, people notice that and they're like, oh, what is she gonna wear? You know, because I'm like, you know, I really take pride in like going to work, you know, and I hope that I inspire people to be in their feminine energy and, you know, to embrace that and be like, HAZEÄ, she's bringing all the pink, but she's also bringing like all the bass, you know, or house music, you know, she's a vibe, you know, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah, fashion has always been one of my favorite parts about EDM culture. And you know, I remember the first night we met and we were going to a rave, we were getting ready together and putting glitter on each other, and that's such a unique way to bond with other females in the industry, because you want to help the other female feel their best and feel confident and feel beautiful, and that's just a special way that we can connect. But I do love your fashion. I've always loved your fashion.
Thank you.
I can tell that you put a lot of effort into it, and that's such a unique thing, because a lot of DJs, especially female DJs, it's kind of hit or miss, you know, like we have to be careful with like sometimes being too sexy.
Yes.
If you're on stage, because it's such a masculine environment. And so, you know, if you put yourself out there too much, then it's like, oh, she's trying too hard. But then the girls that just wear like t-shirts and whatever, they want to be comfortable and they don't want to feel like, you know, they're showing their ass just to get, you know, on stage.
Yeah.
But what do you bring into your styling that makes you feel the most confident, and how have you developed your unique style as you've been a DJ?
I think that my style just completely changed whenever I started DJing, because I found like my most authentic self. You know, whenever I'm looking at things, it's literally me. Like I'm not trying to be anything other than me. I'm not looking at another DJ artist to dress like her. Like I am like, I like this, that's fits well, this makes me feel beautiful. And I hope that it inspires other women to be in that, because, you know, if you take it all the way back to like, I don't know, the 40s and 50s, like women really took pride in what they wore. Like 100%. I know that I dress, you know, very like feminine, but in a way I'm kind of breaking the barrier of like wearing sweats and t-shirts whenever I'm there, because it is comfortable. I wear them to bed. But for me, I'm like it's a performance, it's a show, and I want to give them that, you know. I want them to feel like feminine, and, you know, I think other women appreciate that, where I'm like, you can dress like this, but that doesn't mean that I can't compete with the boys. Well, not compete, but be in the same circles. And, you know, I'm not going to change that, and I'm going to always continue that. You know, I think of merch and I'm like, it's still going to be cute and comfortable, but, you know, I want to stick to my most authentic self. Absolutely.
I know. I started seeing your outfits and I was like, I've never seen her wear anything like that ever before, and it complements you so well. Like, you really did find your style, and it just makes your personality shine that much more, because you're sexy, but you're classy and elegant at the same time. You still have this like fun and cute girly vibe that you're bringing on stage, instead of like, oh, I just need to fit in with the guys, you know?
Yeah, I think for me, like, just breaking from like everything I knew and reprogramming myself. And I'm not dressing for the boys, I'm not dressing for the girls, I'm doing it for me. And I hope that other females, you know, feel inspired by that. And, you know, every body is different, but I think like the whole mermaid vibe is like, you know, picking things that are flowy colors. Like I don't have a stylist. I think as a DJ artist, you know, we wear many hats. Like I do everything, and, you know, I hope that people recognize hard work when they see it. And fashion is definitely right up there. And I've honestly, it's like a hobby of mine now. Like I can't wait to like look for the next outfit and just show everybody, because, you know, I have friends that they're like, you don't wear the same thing twice. Like I'm so excited to see what you wear. And I'm like, I really work hard, because I'm like, I want to bring like boldness and fierceness, and this is me coming out of my shell that you guys are seeing, you know? So
Well, since you just mentioned wearing so many hats, what have been some of the things that you've learned most as becoming a DJ, becoming a businesswoman, an entrepreneur, stepping out on your own journey? What are some of those skills that you've had to learn over the past year?
That's a great question. I think it's like you have to be your own motivator. You know what I mean? Like it's not easy, you know? And I think if you talk to a lot of DJ artists and producers, I mean, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, because not only are we doing all of this for the audience, for the fans, for the culture, but we might have a day job, we might have family stuff, we might, you know, we have a whole other life, but we still make time for this. And I sit at my desk for hours. It is like my second home. Like I literally go home and I sit at my desk and I put on my headphones, and I probably don't leave there for like at least 4 hours until I'm like, I'm so tired. But I've never been upset about it. Like I've always like really, like when you're passionate about something, you can spend hours and days on it, and it just like is never ending. And so whenever, you know, you see that, and then you see the fashion, and then you see me showing up, because there's like these little things, like all of it counts, you know?
Well, you're doing photo shoots, you're creating content, you're trying to build a brand. So all of that takes time and energy and planning. So
I am definitely a planner, and I think for me is like, you cannot come up by yourself. Like I definitely shout out to all the photographers, all the videographers. I shout out to like Spotify, SoundCloud, you know, for giving me the music, since, you know, obviously I don't have, you know, released music yet. And I think like, you know, your friends, your family, like my mom is like my best friend. I mean, I call her every day, and she's like my momager. And, you know,
I know she called whenever we were getting ready, and she was like, how's the interview? It was so cute.
And, you know, most importantly, having the right like mentors, you know, really cleansing like all your social media, because we're on it constantly, and making sure that like it's inspiring you, and also cultivating friendships, you know, making sure that the people around you really want to see you do good. And this is all part of the hats that you wear. Like you really have to do so many things. Being in the right relationships, and just having your head in the right space for all those.
Well, we're gonna pivot a little bit now, because I really want to learn about some of your favorite DJ heroes that really inspired you to take on this journey, like just to name a few.
Well, one is, both of our favorites, is definitely Alice in Wonderland. Huge fan of her. She's just stunning and gorgeous and so talented, and she's just been in the game for so long, and her story was
she's
just
so real.
Definitely. And, you know, I love the way she dresses. You know, I'm like, she's so adorable. But, you know, you just hear her passion through her music, and I just feel like she's nonstop. You know what I mean? She's constantly at a, you know, festival, at a concert, at a show. She's catching flights.
And she's a mom now.
And she's a mom, and her baby's so cute. And, you know, has a fiance. And, so she was super inspiring. So back in the day, I was obsessed with trap, and like I used to watch Trap Nation on YouTube on my little TV in my college apartment.
Shout out Yellow Claw.
Yeah, no, definitely. Run the Trap, Skrillex, all of them.
Yep.
And she was just part of that, and love her.
And it was like one of the few female artists that like started bringing trap into the bass scene, even because her music is like a mix of trap and bass, and then a little bit of hip hop. So it's just like all
like
of
really,
that.
It hits every time, because like those are all three of like my favorite genres from like 2015 to now, and I'm trying to incorporate that now and bringing it back. I'm just like an oldie but a goodie, you know, and got to educate the culture, because I'm like, hi youngins, this is trap. This is gonna stay. I'm gonna keep it alive for sure. The next one would be Sudden Death, actually. Like I am obsessed in the best way possible. His shows are immaculate. He's so creative, and just his performances and the costumes, and you know, a lot of people would be like, I'm scared, but I'm like, no, it's like passion. I'm sure there's a story behind it. And his music just really speaks to me, like especially like the Mellow Death, just everything on there, like Triumph, Burn It Down. Like I am obsessed. Like sometimes I play to a lot of people, and sometimes I play to no people, and you will hear one of his songs in my bass sets every time. And I hope to make something within like the same playlist one day, where it's like, okay, I could see that. And then also one that I've kind of kept in a little like corner, because I'm so like in love, but definitely Knock 2. I found him, and he's kind of in the same genre as like RL Grime and Bass House. So whenever I came out in the bass scene, I'm like, oh, this is a lot, and it's kind of hard to play in Dallas dubstep everywhere, and really to make a career out of it. And so I was like, well, what can I do that like I can give that same energy, but also have bass and not be like go too far from who I am? Because if I don't want to get burnt out, you know? And that was Bass House. And I actually saw Knock 2 at Electric Forest this year. The best show I've ever been to in my entire life. I mean, it's literally playing in my head as I'm speaking right now. And he was so inspiring. Like I want to like open for him one day. And I normally, like, I'm a private person, I wouldn't say, but I'm just gonna let the pod know. Like I love Bass House, and I see myself definitely working in that genre, because you can play that pretty much everywhere, you know, because normally it's like 128, 132 BPM, and that can be played in like clubs and lounges, but also festivals. And so I'm like, okay, that's what I want, because I don't want to be put in a box.
It's like kind of chill, but like fun, and then you have the bass and upbeat, so it can be played in a lot of different places. So I love that. And you will open for him one day. We're going to manifest it right now.
Yes, you heard it here first.
Yeah, you heard it here first. HAZEÄ is going to open for Knock 2. Shout out Knock 2. Yeah, you heard the girl. It's been almost a year, right, since you've been on your journey. And same for me. But what are your big aspirations and big dreams for the near future for DJ HAZEÄ?
That's a great question. I'm still trying to find my place. You know, right now I'm in Dallas, and I'm kind of mastering all the hottest clubs in Dallas. I do see myself in the future of like festivals. And I think that whenever I'm in the studio and I really figure out my sound, then I'll really be able to know.
For sure.
I feel like, you know, doing all of this in less than a year, it's like you don't want to rush it, and a lot has happened, but anything can happen. I see myself definitely as an artist, for sure.
Yeah. Would you say like EDC is one of your dream festivals to play at, or do you have any other top festivals on your list?
Definitely EDC, definitely. I really want to go international. Like I just want to do something out of the norm. I want to be all over the world.
I see you DJing like on yachts, honestly, like just somewhere really magical with the ocean in the background, like especially with the siren vibes. If you can bring that energy to coastal cities, you know, even in Miami, like I feel like you would just kill it there.
I love that you said that, because I think after Dallas, I'm definitely have connections in LA, Miami, and Las Vegas. And I think that that's just part of like a growing artist. You know, you kind of have to earn your stripes. So I think I would have to start there before I think really big.
Yeah.
But I think somewhere in between, whether it's a manager or a mentor,
Gotcha.
they're really going to be like, I want you here. And the thing is the industry is so amazing. Like every show, I never know who I'm going to meet. I never know who's going to be in the crowd. People scout people.
Yeah.
And I hope that they help me find answers too, because I think in some artists, like, I think that you can doubt yourself, and I'm like, can I? There's so many people, like, is this too big? And I think that other people might see something in me, and they'll be like, no, like, I want you, like, you're ready, you know, and I'm gonna be like, okay, because I really do well, like, applying to, like, pressure makes a diamond, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that if I'm thrown in with a challenge, that, I'll go for it, and that's kind of how I was just in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
So, you know,
I know, you're already an international DJ, dude, like, what the hell?
Yeah, and definitely shout out to Smooth Talk. You know, we did that together, and we have content coming soon. It takes a village to make your dreams come true. Like, you truly cannot do this on your own. Like, you need a community. You know, same with you. It's like, you know, you gotta, you know, network with the DJs, and same for us. It's like, we really gotta get that content out there.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I'm so excited to just be a part of your journey and help support you along the way, as we're both, you know, just starting new careers, and it can be scary, but it's not scary when you have someone that supports you, even if, you know, it's from afar. We're always sharing each other's stories and making sure that the other person feels seen and special, and
Absolutely.
I've just been super appreciative of your support in my journey just as much. So
I'm happy to be here. Yeah, you've grown so much, and it's literally an honor to be on this podcast. I mean, with all the other artists that you've had, I mean, you're doing huge things, and I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. Well, I would love to really talk about more of, you know, women supporting women in the community. Obviously, the EDM community is very inclusive, and PLUR is a really big deal, but, you know, there's a lot of things that can be worked on too, and it is a male-dominant industry. We've had conversations about this and how it can be challenging at times to put yourself in those places where it's like, you know, all these guys are just like, you know, in charge of everything. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about women fostering that support, and how can you, or how have you started to kind of create your own kind of community with the women in the EDM industry?
I think being nice takes you far in the industry, and I think that my platform, I definitely want it to be like women empowerment, and just making everyone feel welcome. And, you know, I think women, we, you know, have to do our hair, have to do our makeup, you know, there's photos and all the things, and I'm just like, I'm going to use my platform and be like, hey, it's okay. I think that it's just really important to have sisterhood, and it's really important to have that. And, you know, I'm young now, and if we did an interview in 5 years from now, I'm sure that I'll have like a whole group of women, and I just really see it being like a goddess tribe, and making everyone feel beautiful, seeing just how me and you feel. I want the women in the industry to know that, like, it doesn't have to be competition, it doesn't have to be sharks, and it does, like, there's room for all of us. Even like, you know, I see artists that are doing Grammys, and you know, they say their speeches, and they're like, there's enough room for all of us, even up there. So if I'm down here with my small platform, not that many followers, you know, like doing all my things, I'm like, if the one thing I could do and leave as a legacy is like, please, women, like, just feel heard, seen, and loved. And like, if you're around me, I'm here to hug, we're here to talk. You know, I love helping DJ artists, you know, new and upcoming. I would love to take them under my wing and make them feel great.
Well, you just put on your own little show of women DJs, right?
Yes, so we did a female takeover at Lit Lounge, and that was one of my like headlining events, and I was able to connect with DJ artists. Shout out to Little Fox, which she was amazing, and we've worked together, and she's taught me some things, and it was really cool to bring her back and bring other DJ artists, because one of the other DJ artists was like, thank you so much for giving me this platform, because I haven't been getting booked, and so it means the world to me, and I just want to really do that more, because I think that a lot of other DJ artists, female artists, probably feel the same way.
Yeah.
But what's really cool is I think this year and last year is like our upcoming of women DJs.
Yeah.
And I feel like I know a bunch of female DJs, but like I didn't realize that it's been scarcity for a long time.
Right.
But like we're here, we're not going anywhere, and we're talented, we're beautiful, we're powerhouses.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we create, we are in the feminine energy, we are goddesses.
Women have way more power than we will like to admit sometimes.
Absolutely.
I feel like we like kind of, maybe dim our lights a little bit,
Totally.
just so we feel like other women don't feel like we're outshining them, or even guys, like for some reason we feel like we need to be less of a woman sometimes in the male dominated industry.
Yeah, and one thing I want to clarify on the podcast is that yes, we are pretty, but we work just as hard.
100%.
If not harder, because they're like, oh, she looks this way, then she's probably not a good skilled one.
Such a stigma.
Yeah, and so I'm definitely trying to break that. And I've seen males and females mess up, and they're like professionals. They've been in the business way longer. So I'm like, it's okay to mess up. It's like failing forward, which just means when I say that, I mean like accidentally hitting pause or playing the same track twice.
Been there.
Yeah, and so it's like we're all just here. There's not a book or right or way or wrong way to DJ.
Yeah.
So yeah, even like Grimes, whenever she had her whole, the BPM was like 3 times.
Coachella, and then people were talking shit about it. Yeah, but it's like, well, you weren't on stage playing, so do you actually know what happened? But everyone wants to assume and point fingers, and I honestly, that is one thing that really gets me going is like, if I hear someone talk shit about a pretty girl or a pretty successful woman, and they're like, oh, she just got there because she's pretty, that is not true. Like hardly half the time, and I used to believe that story myself. Yeah. And it's like and then it's like, well, should I feel guilty for being a pretty girl and still wanting to pursue something that's hard whenever I know I have to work hard, and then I have to overcome that stigma of being a pretty girl and people not believing that I did do the work to get where I am. Totally. Just like Paris Hilton, she set an example for a lot of women. She DJs, she's a mom, she's a career woman, but people don't take her seriously because she has money and think that it was just handed to her. I love that you said Paris Hilton, because that was going to be one of my DJ heroes, and I just was reminded. I think she is phenomenal. Same.
I mean, she's, like you said, all of those things, and I think that she's had interviews, and she has a book, and she's done amazing things. Yeah. So don't judge a book by its cover or the way we look. Mm-hmm. And just like support, like I think it really pays off. Like just say the nice compliment to her. Yeah. Whether you're a guy or a girl, give them a hug. Tell them how you truly feel. Like we don't have to just do any of those things. And I just want to use my platform and be positive, because that's who I am. And I want to surround myself with positive women and positive men. And we're just here to build each other up. Mm-hmm. And we should keep it that way, because that's part of the culture. We don't have to be against each other. Yeah. We can show up, and how cool is it to just be like, hey, right. And be like, hey, great job. And it just really pays off to be nice. So I think that I would like to continue doing that. And hopefully people on the pod that are watching, if I could give you an advice, definitely just be nice, be kind.
Be nice, give the compliment to someone. If you're thinking it, don't be afraid to go up to them and tell them you like their outfit or you like their music, or just say what's on your mind.
Yeah, and be genuine. Mm-hmm. Like seriously.
Yeah. It's funny because I had one incident happen at a concert years ago where someone I was with, a friend of mine, was rude to a girl in the bathroom, and I had no clue that she was being mean. But it actually bit me in the ass, because the girl that she was mean to decided to steal my phone. Oh. And I had it sitting on the bathroom counter, And when I realized it was gone and I connected all the dots, I was like, why would she have wanted to steal my phone? Like, I was nice to her. I'm pretty sure I said hi to her. And, you know, when you're in the bathroom at a rave, girls are always nice to each other. So, you know, we're always complimenting each other. Like, if someone needs a hair tie or a tampon or lip gloss, or, you know, their fishnets broke, or, you know, whatever it is, like, we help each other out when we're in the bathroom. So it shouldn't be like catty. And, you know, I don't understand why, like, the girl that I was with decided to be rude, but, you know, unfortunately that was just something that happened, and I won't surround myself. I will not tolerate or be around people that bring that negative energy to a space that should be PLUR. So
absolutely. And I think that that's what I'm going to use my platform for, you know, because I've been through things in the industry. I won't mention names or really talk about it because it's not important, because that's not who I am, you know.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter in the end.
Definitely. And I think that with time, you will know, you know, who your true friends are. And it might get super small, and the circle's super small. I mean, we've known each other for a decade, and I'm just like, I rather have quality over quantity. And I think that, you know, everyone's on their own journey. And I hope to bring like a healer energy through my music and impact as many people as possible. And that's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job so far. And, you know, just spreading that positivity is what PLUR is all about. And I think right now more than ever, it's crucial that we maintain that, because I'm sure you've seen a lot of stories or heard a lot of stories about stuff happening at raves that used to not happen as bad. And we really just need to look out for each other as a whole community at raves, because it's kind of scary out there. Like, it doesn't matter where you are, it doesn't matter what kind of concert you're at. It can be, you know, a house concert, a rap concert, whatever, a festival, but just being a good person needs to be something that people focus a little more on.
I love that you said that, because like for me, I've been pretty much on a sober journey, and I think that if you are going to go solo or not, is that just drink your water, eat, sleep, you know, don't dance too much.
Listen to your body.
Yes, definitely listen to your body. And if you are going to have a wild night, like, have a buddy system and really make sure to take care of yourselves. But I don't want to like enable that behavior and promote that, because that's something that I walk away from now. And I really want people to know if, like, the real me, and I really try to focus on, you know, self-care. And if I do go out, like my job, you know, is out and about until like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. sometimes, but you can still have a great night, like just being you. And I think that's part of like why I popped off in success, is because I'm just being me, and I'm literally me, you know, especially whenever you tap into like spirituality and you're like drinking alcohol, and that's like, you know, if you read any book, it's like that spirits, and it brings you down and it lowers your vibrations. Like, I'm all about higher vibrations, higher frequencies, and like music is that. And some people can see it being really negative, but it's only negative if you're doing those bad things. And we don't want anything to happen to our friends. We love our friends, we love our bodies, and if anyone's watching, like, you do not need those things to fit in or be cool.
You really don't. And
it's not a cute look.
No, it's not. And sometimes it makes you even more insecure whenever you look back and you're like, well, I don't even remember what I did that night, or who I was with, or who was even DJing. I mean, like, if you don't remember the night you had, then what memories are you making? Like, what are you bringing to yourself? You know, like, you should be able to have fun, and it's tempting, you know, like, we've all been there, but it's also just kind of scary, especially if you don't have, like you said, a good support system, and you just go with like a couple of people that you just met that you don't know if you can trust fully. So,
and I definitely want to say, like, I've struggled with anxiety. I've struggled with depression. I've struggled with so many things. And I can tell the podcast that what has helped me is being sober.
yeah.
Like, I have ADHD. All my close friends know that. And like, what's really helped stabilize my emotions is cutting out the drinking. Like, you're like, oh, well, if I don't do the hard things, I can just drink. Actually, like, when I cut out drinking, I was able to complete so many tasks and really be clear-minded, and like the brain fog goes away.
100%.
And mind you, like, I've never been to rehab or done any of those things, but I'm just saying, even just general, like, what we think is okay, like, it's still hurting our bodies.
It's normalized.
Totally normalized. And I just want to really let everyone know that, like, you don't need any of those things. And I think in our generation, we all want to find love, and we all want to, have the right friends. And the only way that you're going to do that is if you're okay. And the only way you're going to be okay is if you take care of yourself. Yeah.
If you really love yourself, then you won't harm yourself.
Definitely.
We only have one body, and it is normal and accepted in society to drink.
Yeah.
And that's always been like kind of the way people socialize for so long. But I think now there's a new wave of sobriety, and a lot of people our generation are realizing that we don't want to drink because it doesn't make us feel that great. Like, you think that having a glass of wine or a drink whenever you're in a social setting will like calm your nerves, but then you might not. At least for me, whenever I've had a couple of drinks in a social setting and like I'm trying to have a conversation with someone, I have a hard time like really forming complete thoughts and saying what I want to say, how I want to say it, instead of just how the alcohol makes me sound. So being sober increases your confidence.
Totally.
And it increases your ability to, sound intelligent and speak what's on your mind. And instead of relying on a substance to kind of like take away the anxiety, you learn to harness that and, be a better person because of it.
Yeah, definitely.
I said that so well. Gosh, I'm so proud of myself.
You should be. I feel like this is such a good movement, and I hope it influences a lot of people sitting in their beds or listening in the car. Like, it's gonna be okay, and you're gonna find your people.
Yeah.
Just being you.
Yeah. Well, we just talked a little bit about, fostering just a positive community wherever we go. But I want to know a little bit about how you bring that support and energy to other artists that, you go show up for at events here in Dallas.
Like I said earlier, that sometimes you get to play in front of a ton of people, and then sometimes you don't get to play in front of anyone. And I think that sometimes it's in the crowd is other DJ artists and producers that are there supporting you. And, if I'm not at home, working on my work and my craft, I can't help but if I see one of my friends, guy or girl, and I'm like, I want to go support them because, you hear my journey, but they're all on their own journey. And it just makes me so happy, like, when you show up and you, like, make that eye contact and you, like, smile. And most importantly, like, I'm still learning new music and learning different styles. And yeah, definitely one of my favorite things in the world is going out and supporting other artists. And I think it just comes from me being like genuine and kind, but it's really like a lifestyle because it's like, oh, we're kind of on the same schedule. Yeah. And so for me, I do that. And sometimes you never know who you meet, and it's a networking. And also you get to meet people that love them. And you just get to build a community even more and keep the culture alive. Because if I just show up for myself and I don't support other people, it's not going to take you far in the industry. Right. And some of my best nights have been from supporting other DJ artists and just and it's more about like they have similarities and we have something to talk about, like, oh, that drop was amazing or that mix was amazing, and you know, we're all just going through the same thing. You know, it's like
Right.
nurses working with nurses. It's like some of you are going to have big days and some of you are going to have slow days.
It's like your colleagues, but you don't necessarily like have a set schedule that you work together, but you still work together.
Absolutely. And I think we should keep that alive and supporting that as family.
Well, you mentioned a little bit about like commenting on like drops and things like that, but has there ever been an instance where you share feedback or receive feedback from other DJ artists in your industry here in Dallas?
So my favorite thing is I need constructive criticism. So many times you will play and you will get off stage and they will walk up to you and be like, great set.
Yeah, and that's it.
But then I'm like, was it? Or like I know I messed up. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, and so I have my mentors and I have people that inspire me, and that's whenever I get down to the nitty gritty and I'm like, what do I need to work on? Like honestly, you know?
Yeah, like don't be afraid to tell me.
Yeah, because I'm out here wanting to be the best version of myself and the best DJ possible. And but most importantly, you have to kind of go within and teach yourself.
Yeah.
You know, record your mixes and listen back to them. Or, you know, do live mixing, you know, have your headphones on or have your speaker going and being like, okay, are you beat matching? Is everything where it needs to be? And yeah, because sometimes I know it's amazing having support from others, but at the end of the day, it's like you are the only one that's going up there on the decks when it's live.
Yeah. And it can be hard too. Like we're our own worst critics, but also like if you're in your own like feedback loop, then you might miss some things that other professionals will hear because they have an ear for it, or you know, and you've been taking lessons and just learning more and more, so you're gonna learn and get better every day that you DJ and every day that you put yourself out there. So I think it's just like you said, like appreciating the constructive criticism instead of taking it as an insult, which some people might do.
Oh no, see, coming from a military family, like that's how we talk. That's how you get better. That's how you push yourself. You want to be the best DJ? Okay, well, look at the best DJs. Look at Skrillex. He just did like a boiler room set and he was literally like on the board, like, you know, and he was doing all of his tricks and things. You're not like, you have to push yourself outside of the box to really stick out in the industry, because in the music industry it's hard because we're all stars. Yeah. So it's kind of like have your own unique little thing and do the best. Like I think for me right now as I would say like a beginner DJ is, you know, I'm like dancing, I'm doing my thing, but I'm not forcing myself. It's just something that's natural. And I think that for every DJ artist and producer, do what feels natural to you, and that the crowd is going to feel that.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, HAZEÄ, are you ready for a fire round?
Let's do it.
Okay, so if you could have any superpower, what would it be?
I think it would be like Flash. Like being able to like run like super fast, but so fast that you could like go to like other universes and like save people.
Nice.
But like maybe like save my sets. Or, you know, just be like the highest version of myself. Yeah.
Okay, so super fast. If you could travel anywhere in the world right now, where would you go?
Japan.
Okay. If you had to eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Chocolate.
Freaking chocolate. What's your favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Ooh, yeah. I like to go home, sit on my couch, and scroll through like TikTok for like 15 minutes. I love like a hot shower. I love like a hot tea. Maybe read a little bit, you know, something positive.
Yeah.
And genuinely just go to sleep.
Just sleep.
Yeah, that like
Sleepy
heals
girl.
more than anything. I'm a sleeping beauty for sure.
What's your spirit animal and why?
I feel that I have many, but definitely I would say butterfly. Like my earrings are butterfly. I have a butterfly tattoo. it just like signifies like transformation. And I like all the stages, and at the end it's like beautiful.
Yes.
So I hope that this HAZEÄ project at the end is going to be beautiful and impact as many people as possible.
If you could be an expert in anything, what would it be?
Oh, for sure, like DJing.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
music. Like there's a goddess called Sarah Savarsky, and she's like the goddess of music. And yeah, so I think I would just want to know everything about it, like storytelling, just all the things.
What's your go-to dance move?
Well, it depends on what era I was in, but if you were to ask me like 2015 to like 2018, I would definitely say we love a nice twerk. When in doubt, twerk it out. Now, you know, we're in our classy era, our classy mermaid era, and I don't know, I kind of do like these little things.
Yes, I love that.
And just be like in my feminine energy.
Yeah. Well, it has been such an honor and a pleasure to have you on the podcast as not only a friend, but now a passionate career woman in the EDM industry. And I just love you so much, and I can't wait to see where this journey takes you. And I know that you're going to do great things in the world and just continue to bring your light wherever you go. So thank you.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and you've made a huge impact on me, and I love what you're doing, and I wouldn't be here without you. And I can't wait to see like what the future holds for us in the same industry. And I love you, and if you ever need anything, I'm a call away.
I love you.
I love you too.